Well, hello, everybody. This is Don with the Vlog of Many Things, and with me are my three compatriots in crime. Directly to my right.
Yes, Tom, Jerion 357.
Yo, folks, Tenka.
Steve.
Steve's an innocent guy tonight in the video because Steve has no clue what we're going to talk about because he doesn't know who Dinehart is, Justin is, nor does he know what Twitter is. Well, you know what Twitter is, right?
Yeah, but I barely use it.
Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. We have a very active watch list already. I've got 31 people watching currently, which is good.
You know, earlier today concerning Twitter, I was watching OGGM YouTube channel, and he kept saying, you know, Twitter is not real. He just kept saying, you know, Twitter is just not real.
No, it's X now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Twitter got real yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It got real ugly.
Foogly, how you doing, my friend? Foogly's in the chat. Where shall we start? Shall we start with WotC? Shall we start with Twitter? Shall we start with meltdowns, hissy fits?
Meltdowns and hissy fits are so much fun.
Well,
Eric, Tom, he asked for it.
You should probably end with the meltdown hissy fits.
Okay, we'll
freaking easy news on WotC. And
okay.
Get it over with.
Let's start with WotC. Eric, Tom, who's familiar with what's going on here?
Well, Chris Crawford and Perkins have left WotC, and it was kind of like, oh, all right, whatever. But then all of a sudden, Darrington Press and Matt Mercer hired them, and they're like, oh, we're so delighted to work with you. So it's kind of like, what's going on with that? I mean, and what's the move by Matt Mercer?
Well, real quick, Dark Winter, hold on, we'll get to that. We'll explain what's going on. Okay, Eric, you can't hear you.
Oh, well, that would help if I took the mute button off. I was trying to do my Tom impression. I'm sorry, man. I failed. I didn't get the reaction I was expecting.
And real quick, we have been online now for officially 3 minutes, and Tom has not went away.
Yeah.
Yay. Quick, kick him out.
But their vice president of D&D left the company. She was at the company. What was her name again? Oh, I can't remember offhand. That's how impressive she was. But nothing personal against her. But she had like 6 years at Magic the Gathering, and then less than 2 as vice president of D&D. Long enough to kill Project Sigil or.
Was she part of the VTT team?
Well, she was she ran the Dungeons and Dragons team, which that would have been under. She was the vice president of D&D.
Yes.
So, she left apparently on her own accord. Don't know where she's gonna land.
Okay, stop.
Does
anyone actually really believe for a freaking minute that when these high-ranking people leave, they leave on their own accord? Yeah, maybe right. they might resign, but I have a feeling they kind of were told, you got choices here.
So I've had such amazing times at Wizards of the Coast, and it's been the bestest experience in my life, and I love everybody. And I am so sorry that I'm moving on to other pastures.
Hiatus, how you doing? Real quick, Engine Joe, the Wonderfield Games guy trolls again. Yeah, we'll be getting into that here shortly. Well, real quick, Tom made a point that I guess one of their top designers went to Darrington Press.
Yeah. Chris Perkins and
so two of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, and I can picture the guy's face because he's the one that told us. If the only reason we actually have the original OD&D in his history books is because we have to, because it's so offensive. I'd remove this if I could.
Well, I guess my news can be public now. You guys know about it.
Sure.
I declined it. I was offered a position at Wizards of the Coast in the D&D team.
Bless you, my son.
I did decline it.
I think you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So.
Excuse me, we're preparing our sacrificial altar for 2026. Would you like a reservation, or do you just or do you just want to? Yeah, we'll put you on the will call list. Is that okay? We'll put you on the will call list.
2026. He was slated for being pink slipped at Christmas, like they always do.
Yeah. No, you got to make it look good. You got to keep it for a year.
The thing is, I'll give it a couple things. The offer was very generous.
Right.
Okay. But it would have required me to relocate to Washington State. Okay.
Nope.
Number two, my wife would have to give up her position as a tenure teacher. And along with that, I would have to have given up Wizard Tower Games, Wizard Tower Publishing. And I have too much good happening with those companies to walk away from it. I'm not going to dump on my clients and my authors for the sake of moving on to a better pasture. That's not how I am. So I'll keep the loyalty with people like Polykid and Mark Hunt and a certain license I'm not going to get involved with right now that I am going to be formalizing here in the next few days.
Yeah.
I like it.
See, you have loyalty, but Wizards is not famous for their loyalty. It's a corporation.
Well, that was another aspect is when you take a look at the volatility of management there, how can they hire a person as a manager when they are having management leave like management leaves? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but one of the most crappiest things I think a company can do is lay people off or get rid of people right before Christmas. I mean, I think that's just cold. They're going to be on break anyways. Tell them to get back.
I can do you one better. I lost a job 2 weeks before Christmas, and the manager stole my last commission.
Yeah,
used whiteout, got rid of my Social Security number, put the store credit number in there, and it was a 3-month campaign of me embarrassing him until I finally got paid.
Interesting. Engine Joe says, kind of weird. When I got on Twitter 2 years ago, he was the first one of my followers. Tenkar covered a post Wonderful did about his warehouse catching fire due to a smudge stick.
I had forgotten about that.
Dark Winter says, what is Hasbro thinking? And then...
They don't think, I think.
Flint Fire Force says, would you like some poison? Easy no. And especially for bonuses, Dark Winter.
Well, your bonus is congratulations. You get to look for a new job.
Yeah, so something's up with Hasbro. Wizards is losing they're just decimating their management. But what's going on with Matt Mercer and Critical Role and Daggerheart, if they're looking to pick up some of these top designers that have left Hasbro?
Why not?
Yeah,
they have a proven track record,
right?
They're experienced. They have a proven track record. I don't know what they were being offered or what they got paid. I know in mine it was in the mid 130s.
Well, I think the last numbers I heard for Darrington Press and Critical Role was like 14 million. They made 14 million, I think, last year. So
you're mixing up though. You're talking about they made sales of
14. So they've got some money to make an offer. So I think they didn't lowball them. I don't think they lowballed them.
And honestly, let's if you know anything about how these companies are, there there was the hint of an offer long before these gentlemen left their job. They didn't leave their job without knowing there might be a possibility of something waiting for them on the other side.
Landing on their feet.
Or they negotiated and it was like, you're hired.
Right.
Okay, I'll give my notice.
Right. Again, they didn't leave without any knowledge of how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to pay the mortgage? What's my health insurance? You know, they had an idea where they were going to be.
The Zatron says they have a proven track record, question mark. Wasn't the only thing they released on is D&D 2024? Sure.
Well,
it was a major release.
Yeah. And Perkins has been with the company for over 2 decades.
Yeah, 20 years.
So he's more proven of the two.
Yes. Absolutely. They weren't in charge of 5e 2014,
they kind of were in charge of bits and pieces, boggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if they weren't, whether you like the new edition of D&D or whether you don't like it, it is still a viable release. They released it. It is a quote-unquote, I'm going to use the word loosely here, don't hate on Don tonight, redesign. You know? So, I mean... here we go. John Miller says, Perkins has been working at WotC since 97. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, he was dead in the middle of...
Almost 3 decades.
Right.
Yeah.
And his knowledge, if nothing... You don't have to like the guy. You don't have to like the games he puts out. But his institutional knowledge is priceless. Even if he was only the guy doing cleanup after everybody else's work. Because you know what? If you're a cop, the cop that's been in the precinct for 25 years and everybody considers to be a do-nothing is the one that knows how everything is done.
Mm-hmm.
It's that way in any job. You know, the plumber that's been the master plumber with 30 years experience who looks like he doesn't work at all. He's the guy that cleans up the crap.
Engine Joe says, back then it was controversy over a new TSR, Star Frontier, so it was the activist side more angry than the right. The latest entry of Giant Lands is a troll against perceived other side money to burn. Actually, Engine Joe, I'm not trying to correct you here, but the Star Frontier thing had nothing to do with the activist side more angry than the right.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with that, actually. That had to do with, frankly, material that was in the game that should have angered anybody that had a moral compass. I don't care right or left. The Zatron says, I was just thinking they were in charge of D&D 2024, and that's all being a commercial gutter ball. Has D&D 2024 been a commercial gutter ball?
Listen, I don't play it, so I couldn't tell you my own personal experiences.
It's stocked in every game shop around here.
Well, I hear that it's stocked, but people are still in store playing with their 2014 books. So that's what I've heard. It's not anecdotal. It's not evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing. It wouldn't hold up in a court of law. So I don't think in court bid. But that's what it's certainly selling well. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's selling well because when you order through WotC, your pre-order, you got a digital copy, and that counts now as 2 copies. So the numbers are a little inflated. Just saying.
Oh, if they're combining their digital PDF with their print, oh, of course, yeah.
Well, plus you have that whole semantics game they played where they said that it was the fastest selling supplement instead of saying that it's better selling than other things. They were, it sold faster than.
Well, probably initially it did, because when they first were talking about it, they gave everybody the impression that this was like some new version completely rewritten of D&D, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, who knows what WotC's doing? I
don't think WotC knows what they're doing.
Oh, they're floundering.
Yeah, right there.
They're
That's
still
exactly it.
The quote of the night. They don't know what they're doing. I would wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
Well,
Because listen, they put all their money, all their eggs in the basket of the Sigil VTT, which wasn't going to do what they needed it to do. Sigil, sorry, Rach is correcting my pronunciation. I'm a New York. I'm a New Yorker. I'll pronounce it. If I want to call it Sigil, it'll be Sigil going forward.
RPG Grandma, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope you're doing well. Well, I mean, the thing is probably it was their fastest selling newest edition because they didn't deceive people. They just didn't explain to people fully the amount of changes that they did inside the new edition.
Yeah. Well, I can just say that around here in Maine, people are like, I've just used my original books, my original 5e books. Nobody wants to really to drop all that cash, on it. And, I just don't see it selling. And from talking to the game store guy, he's actually stocking a lot of, third-party publications, Adventurer's Backpack, other stuff, and those are selling much, much faster than the 2024 edition 5e.
I think if you took a poll of all the smaller publishers who have fantasy-based RPGs out, they probably all seen a bump because people are just not, maybe they're not buying it. I don't know. Like I said, I know it's stocked in all the local game shops around here.
Magic phrase is 5e compatible.
Compatible.
Yeah, so people are producing D&D and selling it 5e compatible, and that seems to be, anecdotally from talking to the guy who owns the store, what is selling, not the WotC materials. So
yeah, well, RPG Grandma says making first all the same mistakes as TSR did and repeating their failed video game board redo of D&D again failed to understand their market. Well, also not only that, but I think what they did is how do I want to put this? I think the developers over promised, and then couldn't deliver what the basics of what they promised, because it was supposed to be, Project Sigil, and that's what they called it, Sigil. They did the hard G. They went ahead and they made this out to be you're going to be playing against AI and this and that, and it's like wah wah wah. No. Yeah. So, I guess you need to understand your programming or what you're dealing with before you do it.
Promise of AI writing, where wah, wah, wah.
We bit off more than we could chew.
Yeah. Diatus, how you doing? Says we basically have a company that's been failing for so long and so hard they don't know what the fuck they're doing. No, I think you're right on that one there, Diatus. Dark Winter says, were they being given bad advice? I don't think so, because when you have managers that oversee the project, you need to have managers who understand the project. I think the managers understood what they wanted. I think they understood what they needed. I think they gave what they wanted properly. I think it was the developers that could not deliver it.
Right.
RPG Grandma says when they started, I did call them and tell them nicely they were effing up. Good for you, RPG Grandma. Manpower 665, neighbor of the beast, how you doing? Says reports of success. Tom is right. It's all in the semantics.
Oh yeah. By the way, RPG Grandma, I hope you called Chris Cox. Hello, I'm looking for Mr. Cox. I'd like to tell you that cock, you're gonna cock it up.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
I was raised a poor child, says they hired activists. I think they know gaming. Engine Joe says WFD wasn't getting as much flack from the right-leaning side. Only the most outspoken pundits were outraged, mostly for clicks for a product they weren't going to buy from a guy being a racist troll. I think it went far deeper than that. But Dark Winter says instead of a new edition, they needed to focus on a new setting to maintain interest. And RPG Grandma says, well, we saw how AI Darth Vader crashed and burned. AI just isn't there yet. Yeah. And then local 433 Gumby. Everyone, Watsy, stay in your lane. Watsy, hold my beer.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is Injun Joe trying to steer us back to Wonderfilled?
Because everybody wants to know about Wonderfilled.
Wonderfilled.
Nobody wants to know about Wonderfilled.
Everybody
they
talks
do.
about Watsy, but when you have a burning pile of shit,
excrement,
yeah, on your front porch, right? Like you're going, what the hell? Why are we talking about yesterday's news?
All right, Tom. I can put this in better perspective. You are right now watching TV in the living room, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And across the street, your neighbor's house explodes. Are you going to continue to watch TV, or are you going to go to the front porch and watch everybody showing up to the house exploding? Because guess what?
Well,
the fucking house exploded on Twitter yesterday at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Let me put that in perspective, because to quote Eric, he said in the past he wouldn't cross the street to piss on Zach Smith if he was on fire.
I certainly would.
But you still would watch Zach burn.
But I would watch. I'd be like, oh shit. I can't believe what I'm watching. And Ninja Joe does make a point. The title of this video.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done with Watsy. We'll get to the good stuff. Yeah. John D. Retired says, when a company tells you what they are, believe them and vote with your money. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Chad says, hello, how you doing, Chad? Hope you're having a good night. Engine Joe, probably because of video title. Yep, we're getting there, Joe. And then Buster TN, thank you for tuning in, says it's also fun to get new D&D players play old school D&D. Yes, it is. Matter of fact, we played AD&D for the first time all together the other night.
Yes, indeed.
Eric did not have good luck on dice.
I'm alive. I am alive.
Oh, come on. You're barely alive.
Yeah.
No, I'm barely alive.
I accidentally moved my token too far past Eric's character, and I triggered traps, and then it was just a horror show.
Hey.
It's a horror show, I tell you. A horror.
Are there righteous movies on TV? No, on Twitter, actually. Dark Winter says more interested in that in 5e. Okay. If it bleeds, it leads. Ooh. By the way,
one's bleeding out, by the way.
Just let everybody know, this is actually a adventure being made for gangbusters. So I don't know if Death Angel Shadow is quoting the adventure, but that's actually one that Glenn Hellstrom developed. So Glenn, if you're watching, it's coming. Yeah. Buster's TN says, I have so many dice now, I always blame the dice. No, trust me, Eric has bad luck when it's rolling. I mean, this guy rolled like 3 2s in a row.
On the VTT.
On the VTT, yeah.
You think I was Tim Shorts. Like, what the fuck? Sorry. Forgive my...
no, you're fine. Engine Joe, don't worry about it, my friend. We're getting ready to talk about it right now.
Nobody died. Nobody
died. No, we're all good.
Let's get into Twitter. Approximately, now I'm gonna kind of get. There's a 4-minute video where I will not play.
By the way, it's not worth the 4 minutes. That's why when I did do it, I pulled out like 20 seconds.
4 minutes you can't get back of your life.
But I'm gonna give you guys the breakdown.
Yeah.
I'll break it. I'll get it all kind of. Yesterday, Mr. Stephen Dinehart, the CEO of Wonderfilled, came on Twitter on a fully open post. That's very important here. We're not just talking about anything yet private or anything like that. He made this a public post. It was a 4-minute and some odd second, a 4:20 video. And in it, what basically happened was this. He began with stating that he is and was the founder of New TSR, that he founded New TSR, and that Ernie Gygax, deceased, rest in peace, gave him a license, as a matter of fact, for it. Mm-hmm. Easy to claim because dead people cannot defend themselves.
Yeah.
He went on saying that race was just an illusion, that there's no such thing as race, even though white people are horrible. And then he went on saying how white people, basically, it's white people fantasy is what D&D is, but he's no such thing as white people. But yet he is part white, quote unquote, part white boy. Then he went on talking about how race has destroyed everything. Went on how his ancestors served directly under George Washington during the Revolutionary War.
Wait. He said I'm Hispanic, and then my
Yes,
ancestors fought with Washington.
Yes, thank you.
The truth of that is since his name is Dinehart.
Hold on. Let me get my notes out here.
I think because
yep. He's not a racist person, okay, but he's Hispanic. I'm trying to keep a straight face here. I'm reading my fucking notes here.
You took notes, God bless
I took notes because I want to be prepared for this video tonight, guys. Okay. Then he went on at the 1 minute 47 mark and talked about how his ancestors fought under Washington directly.
Well, he said with. He said with. And I think his last name is kind of German sounding, that it was German ancestors and they fought with Washington, but not for Washington.
But he's not. But he's part. It just doesn't matter his last name. He's part Hispanic and part white boy.
It's not a Mexican name.
Let's stick with the facts here. Let's stick with the video.
Irrelevant hairs.
We're talking video here. So basically, he then went on how he's not a racist person, but he railed against white people. Then he admitted being part white, and then he went on about how. So basically, he admitted that, in fact, because of white people and because of the people who hated on new TSR, he hasn't sold a game in 2 years. He said that. He has not made a sale in 2 years.
Time out.
Wow.
And then late last night, he said he sold out.
Yes, but
I'm just saying.
We'll get to the
editorially correct.
Yeah, we'll get to all of that. Let's get to the cliff notes of the video.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So basically, he admitted that he ain't sold anything in 2 years. Then he went ahead and said that he is the victim of a racist agenda, okay, by white players. That was at 3 minutes, 30 seconds, if you want to go watch it, fast forward. Then at 3:50, okay, what he went ahead and did is he pretty much admitted that he had made antagonizing content in the past. But that was because he was trying to be intriguing, and he's an artsy person, and he was trying to bring sales.
Didn't work.
That makes it okay.
Didn't work. Okay. And he says, at the very end, there's no such thing as race. Race is an illusion, and that's what he's been fighting for. Now, got that over with.
Is this guy mentally stable? Because it sure doesn't sound that way.
Hold on a minute. So let's go ahead now. And let's stick up for Stephen Dinehart for a minute. We have a man here having a meltdown. He is not racist at all. Okay? So this man is not racist at all. Let's see. He posted this as Trump's. Oh, and he also called all Trump. If you, by the way, real quick, he said that if you voted for Donald Trump and you support Donald Trump, you are a member of the Fourth Reich, quote unquote, and that you are a Trumpsy Nazi.
But the best part of that was he goes, you need to, anybody who's MAGA, they're a Trumpsy. And I'm like, dude, don't you know where MAGA came from? That was that was Trump's slogan.
Yes.
So I think he misunderstands MAGA is actually
I think he misunderstands a lot. So this is what he posted. This is directly from their Twitter. If he wants to challenge me on this, I did video capture also me going and touching it because I learned from another person from North Carolina to do that when they call me a liar or when I post it. He says, hashtag Trumpsy, losers like this is what killed our business. They live in some off-white fantasy of reality. We won't serve them or theirs. They're not welcome at our tables. They bought the books and didn't realize the premise is that they and their kind have finally gone from this. Okay, real quick. I thought you just said that you don't sell to them, but then they bought. Okay, but wait a minute.
No, I thought nobody was buying his books anyway. So
yes. Now this is the best. This is the best one. This is Mr. Morrill speaking. Stephen Dinehart from Wonderfield. This was his comment.
This is my favorite, by the way. Can I give this 5 stars on the racist scale?
Yep. You'll just be bred out of existence. We're not like you. We'll just eliminate your seed from this earth. Now, real quick, that sounded familiar to me. And I'm being serious. I've read that before. I know where I read it from.
Mein Kampf?
Mm-hmm.
Mein Kampf. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mein Kampf was written by Adolf Hitler when
Right.
he was in jail due to the push, the German put, his attempted overthrow of the German government, and when he was in Hallsberg prison.
Yeah, that dude's got
Now,
issues.
real quick, you'll just be bred out of existence. We're not like you. We'll just eliminate your seed from the earth. That's what Hitler said about the Jews. We shall eliminate their seed from the face of. Hold on.
Who's the Nazi now?
Uh-huh.
Who's the fascist?
The quote from Adolf Hitler's book Mein Kampf was this, and this is the English version. And we, the proper Germans, shall eliminate the Jewish seed from the face of this earth.
I gotta say, I like Dinehart's revision a little bit better. It's more artistic, and I think it gets to the point. I can see the Hollywood influence in it. I can see failed theme park in his quote.
You know what bothers me about all this is, the best part is as of about 5 minutes before the show, this tweet has over 700 responses. And who was it? Tom checked. Tom, how many likes does it have again?
28.
Okay, you make a post that has thousands of views, 700 responses, and you can't put 24 eggs worth of likes on the video. And I have a feeling a bunch of those likes are not likes as in I like this because I agree with you.
Right.
I think they like it because he's having an utter emotional meltdown.
Right. Here, I'm going to put things in perspective for you. Now, my first response to him, correcting some of his.
Oh, Eric, real quick. Sorry, I have to interrupt you on one thing.
Yeah.
Eric did a response politely. 1, 2, 3 bullet pointed. Well, it was polite for what you were writing. Yeah. You didn't call him an asshole. You did not use profanity. You were just saying it straight. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, it's gotten over 7,200 views, 594 likes, 21 reshares. There's a ratio in the favor of my comment that is lacking in his video.
And to clarify something, and let's go back to the very beginning of his video, because the beginning of his video is a little revisionist. He says that he founded New TSR and that Ernie gave him a license. Now, a couple things here. Number one, Justin, who everybody knows, is the one who filed for the TSR trademarks.
Right.
Dinehart's name appeared nowhere. Justin is the one who went ahead and filed the LLC. Dinehart's name was not on the LLC or any paperwork. Justin purchased the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum. Dinehart's name was never on there. And according to Graph Paper Architect on Twitter, a.k.a. Michael K. Hovermail, the old PR rep, and if anyone wants to call me a liar, I got the audio and video of it, is he claimed that, in fact, Dinehart was the PR guy, and Dinehart was the guy who handled all the social media. And what ended up happening was, when all the racist BS came about, they blamed Dinehart to me. Now, what I find really weird is Michael Hovermail said that Dinehart refused to give Justin and Michael the passwords to all their social media, so they weren't controlling the social media when all this racist stuff was going on. Now, I remember a tweet from Dinehart where Dinehart denied that. Gee, Dinehart denied that, those racist tweets and those anti-trans tweets. Gee, I believe that, do I?
Yeah, no.
No, not much. So let's presume here, if Dinehart founded New TSR, Dinehart created the company, Dinehart's name is not on one piece of paper. And let's clarify another thing. Ernie, rest in peace, couldn't have given a permission or a license, as Dinehart claimed in his video, a license. Right. He used the name license.
Yep.
Because Ernie had no legal right to it. And Ernie even claimed on video that he had no stake in the company. So how could Ernie give a license on a company he had no stake on? Well, again, it's very easy to make claims against a dead man.
Yep.
Because you can't be called on your bullshit. And frankly, I'm going to say this. If I was Heidi Gygax and Eric Gygax Garland, I'd uninvite that fucker from their EggCon in a flat minute. He shouldn't even be at EggCon celebrating Ernie's dad and Ernie. Because he's now invoking Ernie's name and smearing Ernie's name online in an attempt to cover his own ass.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, that's my little statement about that guy. I mean, actually, I was raised a poor child. We're not burning books this week. No, I guess someone's deciding to burn their own business down on Twitter.
Yes, they have.
Buster Tien says, hard to burn books these days, so many PDF. Yeah, exactly. Injun Joe says, in short, he gave 46 and 2 excuses in lyrical that Tool used. Yeah, exactly. Buster Tien says, Tool reference always welcome. No problem. Yeah, always projection TDS suffers. I did not see that coming. Yep. Injun Joe says, nobody can believe in this straight-faced man as a troll. And this is the problem here. You know, he made this video. And real quick, Eric, he threatened you with criminal action and legal action, correct? Yeah. Or he inferred it?
He might have inferred the criminal. He did threaten the legal. And I was like, all right.
And he says, let this serve as an official C&D. It's like, excuse me? The guy's so stupid, he doesn't even understand how to issue a C&D to somebody. Me telling Eric, okay, I could go right now and go, Death Angel Shadow, I'm going to pick on you. I could say, Death Angel Shadow, here, you got a C&D to quit posting on my video. Death Angel Shadow's going to laugh and keep posting.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Elk of Antioch.
In any case, folks, he did block me, so yes. I can still see everything, but I can't respond in kind. So, I you know what? He won. He won.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not.
How dare he block the truth?
No, he hasn't won, Eric. I've read the comments. They keep going. They're not stopping.
No, I know. They are hilarious. And here's the thing. If anything I said was inaccurate, rebut it. Show the evidence.
That's what I posted underneath your comment. I said, you know, if there's anything untrue here, by all means.
Well, I think he settled for blocking you rather than rebutting.
Yes.
He can't say nothing else now.
Real quick. Tom, why don't you check this real quick? What's the current money on the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum?
That's a good question.
Never let an employee take control like that. Well, and that's just it. I don't think it ever was under control. I think that they always had their control of their social media. I have my doubts of what Michael Hovermill claimed. Buster says in Vegas at the time I grew up there, but it was construction today. I worked till 22. Shrine Builder, how you doing? A single cast of Speak with Dead should clear this up. Dark Winter. Good night. Got up. Sue's best wishes, everyone. Oh, good night, Dark Winter. Scott, how you doing, my friend? No, don't worry about it. Chad says, but didn't Dinehart's ancestor win ownership of new TSR in the game of yeah, that's about the only thing he probably didn't claim in that video. I really suggest everybody go to that Twitter post because here, hold on a minute. He literally, hold on a minute.
Threw himself under the bus?
You know what? This is called a public service announcement to everybody.
Hey, thank you.
I'm posting the link in chat. Thank me later.
Oh, my God.
Agent Joe says his cheese slipped off his cracker due to the pandemic, politics, and apparent mental illness prompted by idle hands at the Devil's Workshop. Good night. Buster, good night. Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, someone slipped off of something, that's for sure.
Yeah. Bruce, I actually posted down below the link directly to Mr. Dinehart's meltdown.
No, he wants the link to my Discord.
Oh, okay. No,
an invite. So I put that in the private chat because I can't share it.
Okay, hold on a second. I can share it just a second.
Yep.
Buster says blocked. Oh, the horror.
The horror.
Yeah.
Horror.
No.
Bruce, I'm going to be posting it in one moment. Okay.
By the way, folks, go to Kickstarter after the show. Do a search for Bat in the Attic Games.
Yes.
Kickstarter is another day to go.
Yes.
So support the man.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh man, Frederick, I gotta do 3.
Rob, how you doing, my friend?
Things.
By the way, let's talk about Rob Conley real quick.
There we go.
Talk about crushing it. This guy has a Kickstarter with a $2,000 goal, I think, and he's what at like $28,000 right now.
Dang.
Rob, you're buying freaking lunch, by the way.
Heck yeah.
In next convention.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
And Rob stuff.
Rob
does good stuff. I like his material.
Yeah, solid stuff. It's no matter what Rob does. Nearly 35K now. Yeah, you're buying dinner.
Whoa, now. Rob, you're on fire.
RPG Grandma says his poster spilling onto other threads now. I went over to his channel to try to get context and left. Say he plays the ukulele though. Oh, he does. No. I scroll down and he actually plays it and sings his song.
Ew.
Oh yeah, I'd rather. I got a couple pens I can stick in my ears once I get my earbuds out. Rob, hold on a second. I'm gonna link you. I'm just trying to get through all the post here. Just a second. I'll get you taken care of. Eric,
I got the link already, so I'll just drop it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Why did his warehouse catch fire though with a smudge stick? Did he get Kickstarter money? Did he claim I don't know. Wait, hold on. I'm new to this. There's a fire?
Yeah, there was a fire back in a while ago. He the warehouse. You could get slightly fire damaged scented giant lands for a while.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you're in Michigan, Scott? I'm sorry about your dad's funeral. Let me off my condolences to you, my friend. Sorry to hear that.
Mm.
And you are very correct. It was too hot here in Michigan. We've had a break here today, but we were at a mid 105, 103 with heat index.
Oh yeah, we were boiling in the shade.
102 on Tuesday. No heat index required.
We have central air conditioning, so I'm happy. I'm sorry,
because you walk outside, you just catch fire automatically.
Yeah, 10 cars after all this negativity, you need to cover 3 positive things in the scene right now, Roderick says. Okay, 3 positive things, guys.
Rob, we got Rob covered. Come on.
4. Let's do 4 new things. Each of us will speak about something positive. Eric, you start, and then we'll go counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. Well, here I'm going to actually I'm going to go beyond that. I'm going to mention 4 Kickstarters that if you're an OSR gamer, old school gamer, you should give a look. Port Mirror, okay, that is looking real good. That's for DCC and Shadow Dark. His Heinous Harvest. Oh my God, this is wonky. We covered him on a week ago Wednesday on the live stream, but just trust me, his Heinous Harvest. If you want to be disturbed, it's great. Temple of the Sheep God, Ian McCartney, and of course Rob Conley's Into the Majestic Fantasy Realms. 4 good Kickstarters. You can't go wrong with any of them. I backed them all. And I told myself I was going to make 2025 a Kickstarter light year. But fuckers like this make me back. So, just saying.
Steve, something positive.
We haven't nuked ourselves into existence or out of existence.
That's kind of like neutral, man.
Hold on real quick. Sure. I can lead him into this easy. Steve, is your cat Hemi still alive?
Yes.
Well, maybe.
It's a 2-part question. And Steve, is Hemi still having a love affair with his little stuffed bird?
Oh, absolutely.
See, there's the positive stuff. Hemi is an old cat, like 15, and the cat
16.
can still get it, 16, and he can still get it up. Tom, besides feline erections,
we just got back from the MADZEC conference, which is a professional conference my wife goes to every year. And basically, the state of Maine pays for her to go to it. So I get to go stay in a resort.
Yay.
And drink adult beverage sitting in a hot tub. But because we had the toddler with us this year, it was, I spent the whole time catering to her, bringing her to pools and playgrounds. And but we just came back from that. And I was just thinking about, I was at the MADZEC conference at Sugarloaf Resort when I first heard about the resurrection of New TSR. And hey, they're going to put Star Frontiers back in. And they want to get in touch with you. So a gamer in Massachusetts contacted me. Said, these guys want to talk to you. So I jumped through hoops to talk to them. And they're like, yeah, don't call us. We'll call you.
So basically, every time that you go there, you resurrect the ghosts of New TSR.
Yeah. So, I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, my God, that was way back then.
Would you stay home next year?
No.
Stay home with the kid.
That conferences are great because, one, I don't have anything to do, so I just,
chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
Adult beverage. Well, I mean, when you're watching a toddler, you can't adult beverage so much. But, yeah, I have a great time.
Well, my what's that, Steve?
Oh, no. He was like, I have a great time. And then there was that pause, and I was like, but...
No, I mean, it's usually at a resort, and next year they're going to a different resort instead of Sugarloaf Mountain. It's just the ski resort is cheap during the summer for obvious reasons, so they like that. But the AC wasn't working in the hotel. We were in one of the condos. We had AC, and there was no AC in the conference center either. So they were like, "That's it. We're going to a different resort." So they've committed to going to Samoset in Rockland. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be on the ocean.
Well, I have a two-part good news. Number one, I managed to get our new D&D game off and running as the DM with Tom and Eric and Tammy and Rachel playing. My wife will be joining next week.
I didn't trigger a total party kill yet.
No TPK, but come on, guys. I mean, 2 flipping trolls about killed you guys in a pit trap. You guys are
whoa. Time out. 2 trolls almost killed us. Yes, 2 trolls almost killed us.
AD&D trolls, low hit points.
AD&D trolls are
low hit
nasty.
points. They had less than 20 hit points apiece.
There's 6 hit dice.
I adjust things for my game.
I'm just saying. There's 6 hit dice. They get 3 attacks. I'm a squishy. I'm a magic user thief. All right? So I'm a squishy. So,
Excuses. Your lack of ability to sit there and cover your butts during a game because you guys want to go ahead and sword, tap, and not look above you.
If I looked above me and didn't tap, what would have happened?
You're screwed either way in my game. So
exactly. So,
but everybody lived for another week, so that's good. And then my second part of good news is my beautiful wife Tina got her sewing room all painted, set up the way she wants it, and she took over my 2 oldest daughters, my 2 youngest daughters, decided to get their own apartment because they are 22 and going on 19. So they decided, one's going to nursing school, the other one's manager at Starbucks, so they wanted to stretch their legs. So a pink 18-year-old's bedroom has turned into a nice medium olive green, not olive green, like a sage green sewing room. So my wife's happy wife, happy life. So that's my good news.
There you go.
Well, besides, turned down a job from WotC. That was a smart bet.
Yeah.
And I have news coming. I'm just going to let everybody know. I have a license from I'm just going to say a surprising game system. Would you say that, Eric?
Yes.
And that will probably end up causing at least one OSR famous person to have an absolute aneurysm in his throat.
My brain will explode and I'm going to fall into my omelet.
Mm-hmm. So we have managed to secure a license at Wizard Tower Publishing.
Nice.
So that's good. So other than that, so Rob Conley's Kickstarter is kicking. I mean, how do you do $2,000 goal and do 35K? Rob. Mojo. The Mojo Rob. Crazy. Let's see here. Oh, hold on a minute. Chad says 20 hit points, Miles will be 1,000. You have 4 max. No, in all fairness, I don't know what was going on with Eric's rolling, but Eric could not roll. I mean, I was getting to the point where I was like, I can't even give this guy any leeway. He was rolling so low, I couldn't even use my DM abilities to like give a buffer a little bit.
Yeah,
it was crazy bad. So RPG Girl says, last game I was in, half the party was killed by lions who dragged their bodies off to eat, and we answered how random monsters end up with treasures and magical items. Lions. Didn't think about that. Thanks, RPG Grandma.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Yeah. Done video review of Rob's new project called Why Should You Be Using... Wait a minute. Castle Archon just did a video review of Rob's new project called Why Should You Be Using... Oh, cool. I hope it's a positive one because everything Rob does is top notch. Well thought out. Well done. Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division says, Ed RPG Grandma, you were playing the Ghost in the Darkness RPG.
Oh, yeah. There's a clap.
Ghost and Mrs. Muir. That's what we're talking about.
Is Rose Estes your surprise author at Wizard Tower? Am I allowed to speculate wildly? I'm not saying a darn thing. Death Angel Shadow says, I might have to get down on Sci-Fi for Me TV. I'd be happy to come on once the license is announced. Actually, attorneys are finalizing it right now with a company that starts with W. I'm not going to go any further. RPG Grandma says,
what you're saying, sir.
RPG Grandma says this last time another PC survived. Injun Joe says, oh, by the way, I was wrong about Tool reference regarding WFD. The song title from Anima is Hooker with a Penis, more appropriate anyways. Rob says, special thanks to all the fans who signed up. That's the thing. A Kickstarter is not successful without people supporting it.
Right.
But Rob, listen, your stuff is top notch. I mean, and I don't say that very often about a lot of creators. Your stuff is absolutely well done and well thought out. And so are your printer references. Sorry, me and Rob has like a printer fetish
and
together.
Rob runs a great game at a convention if you get a chance to sit.
Yes, he does.
Wasn't he at WizardCon?
Yes, he was.
Then I would agree with that. Yes.
Yep. Him and his wife were.
Yeah,
very nice couple. They were both very, very nice people. Ghost to Mr. Chicken, Chad says. Rob Conley says, and Columbia Games included a shout out in their latest newsletter, which is nice. Yep, getting that community support. That's what it takes. It was a good review, Terry R. says, and then Death Angel says, speculate in my head. The thing is about all this, and I'll just kind of say this last little bit about Wonderfield, and you guys are lucky to you're welcome to chime in. What's really sad about is what set this off. You just don't make a video like that because, by the way, how he ended it was with 2 middle fingers, literally flipping the camera off, 2 middle fingers. And the guy basically had a public emotional meltdown on video, and that's what that was.
Yep.
And he's not my favorite camper, okay, but that was like a pure visceral emotional meltdown. Something triggered him. And then he started going after people with this type of racist type of stuff. So it's just a real shame that let me back up real quick. Phil Fire Forces, glad to have Rob on my channel to repost it yesterday. Excellent. Rob says we'll be ShireCon. Excellent. And you have a continued invite to WizardCon again. You and your wife do both. Interstellar RPG making progress. Yes, we are. Interstellar RPG, the role-playing game me and Scott's been working on. Scott is a content crazy wild man with ideas and content. We actually need to have another thing because I got to get my notes over to you. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to write that down right now while everybody else talks. Thanks, Flint, Rob says. So yeah, total meltdown. Total meltdown. And on top of that, he thought he was going to get nasty with people. I ain't that dumb. When you post something on Twitter and people start to go after you, you better just shut your mouth and move on.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how he was like, I haven't sold any games in 2 years.
But I'm sold out.
And it's the Trumpers' fault. And then he said, I don't even want to sell any games. But then he started promoting the game. Yeah, there's no race in it. There's no class in it. Well, yeah, it's at the end. So I'm like, that doesn't sound like somebody who doesn't want to sell a game. It sounds like he did this whole thing. He thought he was going to get sales.
Well, real quick, this guy asked a question of Rob Conley. Rob, and I don't think anybody on here is going to mind, would you like to come on next Thursday, the Vlog of Many Things, and talk about your Kickstarter? What were your tricks? How'd you do it? What did you do? And because your Kickstarter will be over, we'll have a final dollar amount. If so, drop any of us a message and tell us yes, and we'll have you on next week. I think everyone will be in agreement with that.
Sounds good.
So, but yeah, you're right, Tom. I mean, and the thing is he did it on his company account. I mean,
Bum, bum, bum.
Our founder needs to speak. Not our foundling, but our founder needs to speak. It's like, jeez.
Excellent. Like to have you back. So let me know if you want to come on. Drop me a PM, Rob, if you want to come on the Vlog of Many Things next Thursday at 8 o'clock. We'd love to interview you and talk to you about it. I have a rule on my Wizard Tower Games page. I don't talk politics. I don't talk it. I don't engage in it. If somebody tries to, excellent, you're on, planet. If somebody tries to drag me into it, no way. And the reason why is this, because, Wizard Tower Games is a game publisher. If I'm at a convention, you walk up to me with a Kamala Harris shirt, I'm going to sell you a game. If you walk up with a Trump shirt, I'm going to sell you a game. I don't care. And I shouldn't care. Just like publishing books. Steve was with me with my old publishing company, and he's going to be probably deeply involved in this new one, is, I don't care what your politics are. Let's get your book published. And when you start interjecting your own politics into what you're doing business-wise, not a vlog, business-wise, you're making a mistake. So I'll tell you right now, whether he likes it or not, he fried Wonderfilled Games. He might as well just close that LLC up.
It would be different if you were selling knockoff MAGA hats.
Yeah, or
your audience is all the people who would buy a MAGA hat.
Yeah, be political if politics is your business. But, he quotes himself, and by the way, he has actually also cleaned out his Twitter quite a bit, deleting old posts that he made.
Well,
but he plays this.
He didn't remove enough, I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to bounce, leave you all.
I got to go too.
All right. Steve, it's me, and you're going to hold the team for a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
Elk Antar says, Don, I hate to ask, but did you see my email regarding editing and might be able to help? I would gladly volunteer to edit a project sample. You know what? No, hold on a minute. This is weird. Oop, there we go. Elk, drop me an email at one more email, info@wizardtowergames.com. And because no, I did not see it, but I'll check spam too. Yeah, we'll have you on next Thursday, Rob. And that's just it. Nobody wants to buy stuff from an angry, bitter person. And nobody wants to buy stuff, okay, you rail against white people. Well, guess what? You just blew out a large portion of your fan base.
Yep.
And okay, so you say you hate Trumpers. Well, you just blew out another, 40% of your fan base? If you're lucky, that low? So, good night, RPG Grandma. No sales in 2 years. All right, thanks, Al. And also, by the way, for those of you tuning in, please hit the like and subscribe. We're looking on the vlog of many things to get our subscriber count booted up a little bit. But Steve, it's 9 o'clock. We've been here for an hour. We've been talking about Wonderfilled. You're probably surfing the internet by now.
Oh, just looking for cat videos. No, just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to upset the cat, you know.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you. It's been a really active chat. Again, everything that we've talked about when it comes to Wonderfilled games was based on a live video he posted. I did download the video in case he tries to involve me and tells me that I'm a liar. So I have the fully downloaded video. We decided not to play it tonight, but you can go to the link and look at it because it was still up as of a few minutes ago. Injun Joe will have the last comment for tonight, and he says, what is sad is some people would give an eye for and a tooth for free just to get somebody to read their material, much less buy it. In fact, I'll just give RPG Grandma the last comment because she made it, and that is, people will buy jokes, even mean jokes, but usually not hate. Watsy did the rage hate thing too and turn off. Exactly, RPG Grandma. And with that, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope you have a good weekend. We, I think, are going to be... No, you were not intrusive at all, Indian Joe. Don't worry about it, my friend. We, I think, are going to be on Twitch and going to be probably streaming live our RPG game this week. So you can look up Wizard Tower Games on Twitch and or on Restream and probably watch us and do me a favor, resend me an email, info@wizardtowerpublishing.com. Again, info@wizardtowerpublishing.com, Death Angel, and let me double check, and I'll be answering everybody tomorrow, and I'll set up where we can do video inputs. So, guys, have a good night. Steve, thank you for being on tonight.
Yep.
And everybody, we will talk to you guys later.